The beloved Volvo XC70 is finally back, but this time around it is different than the last time we saw it. So in this video, I'm going to talk about all the things that is the new Volvo XC70. So this new XC70 was launched and revealed yesterday in Chengdu in China, one of the places where Volvo have production facilities. And what's important to note here is that this new XC70 isn't really a successor to the old XC70 we knew from before, which was launched way back in like 1997 or 1998 as the Volvo V70 cross country, and then in 03 when we saw the second generation, it turned into the XC70. And we had three generations of V70 cross country or Volvo XC70, which was basically a Volvo V70, a station wagon which was lifted with more, suspension travel, higher ground clearance, and also more rugged styling. So that is what I think most people think about when they think about the XC70. But, since then, and the past like 10-15 years, the XC nameplate has morphed into the Volvo SUV lineup. So we have the XC40, we have the XC60, and the XC90. And then later on now, we've had the electric versions like the EX30, the EX40, the EX90, and in January, with this press release, Volvo are saying they are going to launch the EX60, which I think this XC70 is a little bit of a preview of. We're maybe going to see what the new EX60 is going to look like, dimension-wise, what it also may be close to. But, that is a car for the future, and hopefully Volvo are going to invite me to the launch of that next year. When I went to the EX90 and also EX30 cross-country ice driving and winter driving in Luleå earlier this year in Sweden, the engineers and their product managers talked about a surprise coming in about a year, and I think that is the EX60 launch. So if you don't want to miss out on me going to that launch and you want to support the channel, be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell, because you guys know I'm always being invited to these Volvo launches, and I'm going to cover new vehicles from Volvo like in this video. But okay, back to this new XC70, and this car was teased a little while back, a few months ago, and I think there was some leaked footage, and I think, this went viral on social media, and I don't think initially Volvo intended to launch this car other than in China. And you can see that from the press photos. Like, this car is a China specific vehicle because it has Chinese lettering on the rear deck lid, which I haven't seen in any other launch from Volvo. And also, this car is very closely related to the Lynk & Co. 08. So I'm going to reference that car a lot because though we do have, some information about this new XC70, there's a lot of information that's lacking. We don't know the size. We don't know the battery pack size. What we know is that this is a long-range plug-in hybrid. So this is not a pure electric car. So the Chinese test cycle rates this car at plus 200 kilometers of range. We know that is very optimistic, the Chinese cycle, even more optimistic than the WLTP, which is even more optimistic than the EPA test cycle. I've seen numbers ranging between 260 and 290 in the Chinese cycle, that is kilometers. So I think we can expect around 200 kilometers of WLTP. I think that's where they're saying plus 200 kilometers just to cover both bases. And I think maybe in the EPA rating, we can see somewhere between like 140 and 150 kilometers. So I'm going to put on the screen now, probably do some calculations off camera, what I think the battery pack size is going to be, but I'm guessing somewhere in the 20 to 30 kilowatt hour range. But again, we know the numbers of that Lynk & Co. 008. I'm going to put that up on the screen. So this car, the exterior I think is very, very well done. It is very beautiful. It is very Volvo. It wears, Volvo's new corporate face with the new, new style Thor's Hammer LED headlights, and also wears its headlights, the DRLs up top, which are the Thor's Hammer, and it has, those headlights down below. Kind of like the Seeker 7X I just had on loan, which videos are coming out very soon. I've just haven't had the time to edit them, and I wanted to cover this car before that. And we see a lot of, that Geely group DNA here. For example, we see, the screen, which is horizontal, like we see in the Polestar 4, like we see in the Zeekr 001, the Zeekr 7X, and also the Lynk & Co. 08. We see those double chargers in the center console as we see in those cars. We see the same window switch placement, the same speaker placement, much of the same style as we've seen in those other cars, and also the same pop out door handles, which we have in all of those cars I've mentioned. Those cars I'm talking about are built on the SEA platform, which is a pure electric platform. This is built on the CMA 2.0. Which is a continuation of the CMA 1 platform, which was, which underpins the Volvo XC40 and other Lynk & Co. vehicles. So this is, their small modular architecture, or compact modular architecture 2.0, which I think is kind of interesting because this is not a small car. We don't have the exterior dimensions, but the Lynk & Co. 08 is more than 4.8 meters long. So this is going to be a big car, and I think from the exterior it looks very nice. But then we have the interior, which I think is less successful and less Volvo. It is not very distinct Volvo. I think this is somewhere in between the Lynk & Co. 08 and a Polestar 4. I see a lot of Polestar 4 here, like the door card, the Harman Kardon speaker looks very close to the Polestar 4. It also has a very weird steering wheel that we haven't seen in a Volvo, a two-spoke steering wheel, which kind of is reminiscent of that 08, that Lynk & Co. 08 steering wheel, and also that center console. It seems like this is going to have an infotainment system that is also very different to what we've seen from any other Volvos. So it is a missed opportunity. Like, again, maybe this was only meant for the Chinese market, like the Volvo EM9, the big people carrier. But I think this is a car that they've gotten a lot more press around. I think there's a lot more hype around this vehicle. So I think that's why they've launched it globally. I think they've said it is coming to Europe later, but at first it's just coming to China. But I think this is a vehicle that people are interested in because, like, of course, I mostly or only cover EVs here on the channel. I do this occasional, when it's a brand you guys are interested in, like Volvo. I do occasional like plug-in hybrids like this, and especially long range cars. But I think this is a car a lot of my viewers may be, also interested in. You may not be, ready to take the step to full electric car, depending on where you live. And this is an interesting car for a lot of people. So I think they're going to bring it out globally now. So again, we don't know much. We know the pricing in China, which is going to be above like $30,000 US, which doesn't say a lot. I think we're going to look to what the Lynk & Co. 08 costs. I'm not sure if that is available anywhere in Europe. But we can look at other cars, and usually when they come to Europe, when they come to other markets, because Chinese car prices are subsidized and there's no, value-added taxes, and once they have to bring it here, they have to, have European dealers with European prices. They have, have to transport the car. We have to have European warranties, and all of this brings the price up. That with VAT and also the tariffs that are on Chinese cars usually is going to bring that price, which may be around $30,000, up to closer to like $50,000 or even $55,000 or even more. So we're talking about a car that once it comes to Europe is probably going to be around 50 to 60,000 euros, in my opinion. But I think this is a little sneak peek into the Volvo EX60, which of course may be smaller because 60 is smaller than 70, but it may not be much smaller. I think this is going to be maybe around 4.82 meters long. We may see a Volvo EX60, which is around 4.79 meters long, but I hope that Volvo EX60 is going to have a more of a Volvo interior, because I think, again, as I said many times now, this is a missed opportunity. So if I haven't talked about all the things and all the specs, hopefully I put it up on the screen for you guys. But again, we don't know a lot. I don't know when this car is coming to market. We don't know when it's coming to Europe. And again, we don't know the battery pack sizes. We don't know the pricing here. But I think this is a cool car moving in the right direction, even though I have, critiques about its interior. I think the exterior styling is phenomenal and 100% Volvo front and rear. And when it comes to the profile, when it comes to the details, when it comes to the wheels, this is a very good looking design from Volvo. So let me know in the comment section down below, are you more excited about this or the upcoming Volvo EX60, which we will see in January? Let me know, guys. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.